So, it is December. What better time to make a video, right? Before the year's over. That's me. So if you're involved in filmmaking, film production, content creation, video editing, anything of the sort, you have probably heard about the hot new topic, Opus Clips. Opus Pro, Clips.opus, Opus Scopus, whatever the official title is. And in case you are somehow unfamiliar with this is a new AI platform that creates video shorts for you with AI. Did I mention that there's AI? There's AI. I don't know if you got that, but it's really important, apparently, you see. So yeah, basically AI will take a long-form content video and it'll break it down into a bunch of different shorts. And it sounds really great and beneficial on paper, and I have to admit, it does come with a lot of benefits, but is anyone really actually talking about how they actually feel about using this program? Because that's what I'm about to do. So just to be clear, I have not been using this for like an incredibly long time. It is kind of a recent thing anyways, but I'm also not like a newbie, like a beginner. Like I've been using this long enough to, get to understand how it works, how it functions, the limitations and the advantages that come with it. And so let's talk about that. Now the benefits of this are pretty self-explanatory. It's right there in the name. Basically, you save so much time on what would have been spent on editing shorts and short content for social media, and instead AI just does it for you. You just drop in a link or select a file of a video you want to make shorts out of, you plop it in, you select a few settings, maybe a few templates, and then it does its thing. And within a matter of minutes, it depends on the length of the video, you now have, voila, AI-generated shorts of your video. Now some videos can give you a few dozen shorts, like maybe 1 to 9, and others can give you quite a few, from 1 to 24. Wow, hot dang, that's quite a bit of material to use, you would think. But there are a couple of problems that come with this. Now, of course, I understand what this program is. It's AI. AI can't do everything as much as we would like it to be able to, apparently. But the thing with AI is that it can be very unpredictable, it can be very limited, and it really wants to do its own thing. It doesn't want you to do it for it. It wants to make the decisions, which I'm going to say right now, one of my biggest negatives towards this program is that it is very, very limited and not very user-friendly. Now, it does the job, basically. It pumps out a few shorts, and you have the option to add subtitles, text, B-roll, and stuff like that. But like I said, it is very, very limited, at least within the program itself. You see, you can't really use this program and use a bunch of different clips, a bunch of different videos, and make one short out of that. It usually just takes one video and makes smaller videos out of that one. And that's basically how this entire program works. Which pretty much means if you want to make a video that is not from one long clip or video, yeah, the job really isn't going to get done here at all. So off the bat, it really depends on the type of content that you are making. Now, if you are trying to take long-form content and convert it into shorts, then great. That's exactly what this program is for. Good for you. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. And of course, there is like the whole, free trial versus the paid stuff and all that. I'm not even going to get into that, 'cause it's really not going to be that much beneficial unless you're really willing to go all out and pay for this stuff, which I'm betting a lot of people probably aren't, because they just, why? But even like I said, with the different options like adding B-roll or adding text, subtitles, or adding, things like that, those are also very limited. Like, for instance, the layers. You can only do literally 2 layers of footage. What? That's not enough to work with. Now, thank goodness that the generated subtitles do not take up one of those layers, and that's an entire problem in of itself. I'll explain why. As far as I'm aware, maybe you can, pay a more expensive version and get more options. But, right there is kind of like, now you're just spending so much more money for something that saves you a bit of time, sure, but it's like, is it really worth that? But again, maybe that's not what most people use this for, so maybe it's fine for most people. So let's just go with that logic. B-roll. Again, maybe if you like pay for the full version, if you want B-roll, it's either stock footage or it is AI generated stock footage, which are both garbage. Like, don't ever use those. No. So you're really left with not a whole lot of options. Now, the only way I've been able to figure out a way around this problem is by importing simple photos and JPEGs and things like that to use. But that's basically all you can get away with. Even with like the text, again, you can only do like one layer on top of your video footage, so you kind of have to decide, where you either want to put text or a photo maybe. Like, you have to choose. You can't really do both. I mean, I guess you could, but you'd have to use like other programs, and that would defeat the whole purpose of using this program, which is like the entire point I'm trying to make here. Now, to be fair, they are developing more stuff. There's a lot of new things that they're putting into this program. Like, they're giving us new special tools to use. But I mean, the point still stands. I mean, even with these new tools, it seems pretty inefficient at times, and that's not even talking about what we're going to get into next, which is the AI-generated subtitles, which is both the best and absolute worst part of this program. You see, like I said before, the main appeal is that not only does this shorten a video, it also can add subtitles to your video so that you don't have to go in and put in manual subtitles, because trust me, that's a long process and it's not a fun one. It is not. And so that's actually pretty cool, and it's great until it doesn't work. You see, I said before that these subtitles don't get their own layer within the editor. They are pretty much their own thing developed into the video at this point. Of course, there is like a text editor where you can kind of like edit, like change misspelled words or remove sections, but you really can't like manually add like subtitles to a part of the video. If you import a section, you are basically importing that video combined with the subtitles it's already made. And sometimes it gets the words wrong, it gets phrases wrong, it gets the timing of the words wrong. Sometimes the words don't even show up. And if that happens, there's basically nothing you can do. You cannot manually add the subtitles yourself. So that's where it's pretty limited, and you have to trust that the AI knows that the word is there, that it knows how to spell it, that it knows when you say it. Like, for instance, what if the word shows up too early in the video? What if it, for some reason, keeps showing that word or that phrase while nothing's even being spoken? I don't know. It just happens. And the editing itself within the program is really not that great. It's pretty basic but limited. The best you can do, you can split certain sections, is just the equivalent of cutting in any other program. You can delete certain sections, but again, you cannot really add any sections unless, of course, you like added the text, which would add the section basically, but we kind of talked about that. And so in some cases it can be really hard to just make the flow good, to make it seem like, not just a piece of crap that you just, put into a prompt and it spit out in like 2 minutes. People will see that. And it is not hard to see that. Maybe I should rephrase that. Technically, like the photo, you can import videos. Like, you can import like JPEGs, MP4s, MP3s, things like that. But if you try to put it into the timeline, it does not replace the existing base clip, let's say. It simply goes over it. It's put onto the layer above it. Like, you cannot replace the bottom layer that the AI has already used to basically define your short. So if you want to like change a lot of that base layer, or you want to use that new footage, you basically just have to go and make a whole new short, import a whole new video. And I guess I understand that the AI is pretty involved with the clip you've already given to it, and you can't really change that, or else it's going to have to change a bunch of stuff. But still, like, that is a big limitation for a program like this that is supposed to to make it easier, make it faster to get stuff out. But I guess this comes to a pretty strong reality, which is that if you want faster stuff you can get out quicker, and stuff that's more convenient, that doesn't take as much time, you're going to get a lower quality product. It's not going to be the same. Now, the product value of using things like AI has gone up drastically, like it's kind of ridiculous in some places. But in this case, it's just not really a feasible feat when you're trying to just really make something quality and quick. It doesn't really go together. Now, if you do want to make your own in-depth changes, like I've done a few times, you can export it as, like, say, a Premiere Pro file and go edit it in Premiere Pro, but then again, there's basically, still the whole, like, base layer problem that you can't really change a whole lot of. And talking about this, I'm gonna call it the base layer for now. It's like, it's the basic, it's the base of the whole video. You can't change it, it's done, basically. I didn't even talk about when it comes to, like, resizing and framing with this base layer. Like, you do have a few options, like you can select the fill option for it to fill the entire frame, or fit, where it'll basically crop it out like to the 16:9 aspect ratio and put that over it, or, I don't know, you could do 2 pictures within the frame. But I guarantee, if you have even tried any of those options, it can be a complete mess, especially if there are cuts and jumps in the actual video that you put into the program. Then the framing is just gonna be all messed up. It's not gonna match at all. It's gonna look janky. And I mean, it gets ridiculously stupid at some points. It is so ridiculous that it cannot match up these things. Like, literally every few frames, maybe the 2 videos in the frame, they will swap places. Maybe it'll cut to a close-up, to a fill, and then it'll cut back to a fit for whatever reason. And of course, you can change these and try to work around them, but at some point, there's just nothing you can do. And really, the only way around this is to set it to that fit option and just zoom it in, just size it up to the point that you want. That's really the only way around it. And that's the thing about, like, so many of these options or tools within this program, is that they work until they don't. And when they don't, you can't really find a solid way around it. You have to work with what you've got. I know this video probably sounds like me just complaining drastically, just going on this big rant against Opus, but the truth is, like, these are, like, just genuine negatives I have against this program after using it, and I don't see a lot of people talking about that. It gets a lot of ad coverage. It seems that a lot of people, a lot of channels use it, and I haven't heard anything really regarding this. Of course, there's always people who will say that they hope the AI improves, but that's not even what I'm talking about here. I mean, my concern is, why are we focused so much on programs like this that are, yes, they are innovative and they are really cool, and they give us new tools to work with, but at the end of the day, I mean, is it really going to present that much more benefit to us? Does it really, like, that much quality that it's giving us, with the time that we're trading out to use it? I mean, that's a genuine question I have. And when I heard that, like, Secret Invasion, for example, their intro is literally, it's an AI generated intro, and that just it makes you just roll your eyes and, well, like, why? Like, when you tell someone that this movie has used, like, AI generated elements, that can mean one of 2 things. Either that we have, like, really developed our artificial intelligence and we have made it, do amazing things for us to get better quality projects out, or it means that a studio, they just took the cheapest route possible, the laziest route that they could have taken, and it infuriates me. I mean, I don't even know if I'm making a lick of sense here, if anybody feels the same way I feel, but I'm not into all these AI tools when, you can't even use half of the stuff it gives you. I mean, I haven't looked through all these, but I guarantee that half of these shorts I cannot even use because they are just repeats of the others. They have, like, the exact same clips and sections of other shorts, which kind of makes them, like, unusable. Like, it's just, like, the same short twice. Why would I want that? Or it's just so poorly put together, or maybe there's not even a point to it. Like, look here, go to the bottom, where you will see that you will get lower scores on basically everything, like on your hook, on your flow, on your value, on your trend. It gives you a score about how that short will do. And my complaint really isn't that you're going to get ones like this, because you are. Even if regardless, you can't make, like, a good short out of, like, every clip, every section, There's going to be ones that just don't work. But with this, like, every time, almost half of these shorts rather, I can't even use because of those reasons, or because there's just nothing to it. It's not content. It's not a short. It's a whole lot of nothing. Click on one of these. Chances are I'll just find it's a section of the video that just like cuts off at some random point, and there's no point to the short at all. Which again, sure, that can always depend on the actual video that you're putting into the program. But I mean, if it's not delivering you like a good result, and you have to go back in and you have to fix it, and you have to re-edit it, you have to change things, you have to add things, delete things, and maybe even possibly redo the entire short, then what's the gosh dang point? What benefit is that giving to me? I feel unhinged right now. Good golly. But it's just something I feel like no one has really addressed, and I don't know what addressing it, if that'll do anything, if that'll convince anyone of anything, or anyone to do anything. I don't know. And I also don't know what the future of this looks like. Like, is this seems to be catching on a lot. Is it going to catch on more? Are we just going to keep running into these kind of problems? Are these problems going to get fixed? Are we going to be able to get actually good content from this? I mean, it's the question I have. Now again, the point of this video is not just to bash on this program, although, I mean, maybe deep down inside it kind of is. But the point is, it seems so strange that like such a almost revolutionary concept like this is getting so much traction, yet very little criticism, review, let's say? Anything, really. I don't know. Nothing. And again, that's not even to discourage anyone from using this. Like I said, there are a lot of benefits to this. If this suits the kind of content that you make, or the kind of shorts that you want, then perfect. It's done its job. But the problem is, I feel like this is trying to fit so many different things into a box that don't fit into it. It's a very narrow passageway, and you can't fit every kind of video, every kind of content within that. Even for me, there is some content that works perfectly for a program like this, usually just like talking head videos or podcast clips. But then there are other videos that absolutely do not work for this program. And of course, the goal would be to try to find the balance, but I mean, there isn't one. Like, where's the alternative to this for other kinds of videos, Videos that aren't just, sections taking out of some long-form video, and you just put subtitles on them, bam, done, next video. Like, where do we get a program for the videos that are not that at all? Do we even have any tools, any AI-generated softwares, generative softwares, for content like that? I don't know. I don't think so, and I understand that's definitely more difficult to make a cohesive short out of than just a video of someone talking, and because then you've got words and audio to work with. But again, I mean, is it really worth it if that's like such a not even the majority of what you do, if that's not even the kind of content that you make? But it looks like that's where I have to leave the question open. So, has anyone ever tried this program? I'm sure some of you have. What do you think of it? Does it work for you? And what are some of the limitations and the negative things that you run into when trying to use it? Let me know in the comments down below, because I will read them all, apparently, please.
I need to know now.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far into the video, consider giving it a like and subscribing while you're at it, and I will see you next time.